So here's the deal. There's a new teenage Gohan out. He has soft goods. We're giving him an upgrade. We're gonna compare him with that previous release. We're gonna give some backstory. Now you know the deal, so let's not waste any time. Let's check out this box from Super Saiyan Son Gohan, the fighter who surpassed Goku. I gotta say, it's a very passive-aggressive name. Who named this figure? It says, toy maker with obvious daddy issues. Sounds about right. From the box, we got an image of Gohan there standing with the proud chest. And I gotta say, just from that image, he looks a little bit Nintendo-ish, like 8-bit character-ish. That doesn't look too great from the image. This guy surpassed Goku, must have been in Super Mario World or something, because he didn't surpass him in looks. We got an image of his hand there in the Kamehameha stance. Side of the box, we got an image of his face, looking very angry. We got another image of him throwing a Kamehameha blast. Nice bangs hanging down. Looks like we get a different pair of bangs with this dude. And we got an image of his foot with that toe articulation, which I always think looks ugly. Bottom of the box, we got Gohan in a martial arts stand. Back of the box, we got a bunch of images of the figure with the cape, without the cape. This is my favorite version of Teen Gohan from that Cell Saga, where he finally stepped up, stopped being a whiny kid, and used all his power within him. Used that rage to defeat Cell. I'm excited to get this thing opened up. Let's not waste any more time. You know what we do on this channel. Let's say those 2 magic words.
Oh, baby.
Here we have Son Gohan, the fighter who's better than his daddy, outside the box. Looks like we get a lot of stuff. Let's jump right into it. First impressions, it's kind of a matte, light paint, dull figure. I don't know how else to explain it. Skin tone is very light. Just seems dull compared to like the vibrant colors that we could have. S.H.Figuarts doesn't do a lot of paint work, line work on their figures, but what they do spend time on, at least, is their faces, outlining the eyes, but also looks like stickers that they put on there. I know it's not stickers, but I've seen some head sculpts where they do put stickers on. I'm like, that looks about the same thing. Like, it looks lazy. I don't know. Even the hair sculpt itself looks very dull. It's just a light yellow plastic that's on here. No shading on the back of the head. Front of the head, you got a little bit of like yellow burst that's right here. Honestly, they could have done a lot more. We get those fists that come on the figure itself. We get 2 open palm Kamehameha blast hands. We get 2 just straight up open palm hands. We get 2 curled up open palm hands that are almost like martial arts pose hands. And we get 2 karate chopping hands that have a little bit of like a swoop on them. Usually we get chopping hands and they're straight out. Maybe that's how you surpass Goku with his finger bends. Goku can't do that. Take that, daddy. On the figure itself, you get kind of a stern-faced Gohan. You get another stern-faced Gohan where he looks a little bit less pissed off. We get this grinning face right here. We get this more shocked face with a little bit of dirt and smudges on there, like he just got his butt whooped and he's shocked about it. I wouldn't be surprised, Gohan. Then we get this second head sculpt, which comes with this faceplate of him yelling, kind of powering up, pissed off, like he's about to go ham on somebody. The hair sculpt's a little bit different. You got those bangs swooshing in to the side here. Where this head sculpt, you got the bangs coming straight down. Here the hair's blowing in the wind. Looks like you get a little bit more of that paint yellow burst on this head sculpt. The back of the head is still plain mute yellow. And I would say that pretty much about everything. Everything's just plain and mute. Even these like hand sculpts that are right here, like it's just a plain muted plastic. Something about it. Like there's a little bit of molding detail on there, but it's very, very light. There's nothing really to distinguish the fingertips or the fingernails on there. It's just a little bit weird. I just reviewed that Piccolo figure or even that Boo figure, and for their fingernails, they had some paint on there. Not that it's needed for a more human looking character, but a little something would elevate it. Imagine if you didn't have fingernails and it was just one big yellow pink sausage. Now I did mention we're gonna do an upgrade. I got these head sculpts from Tigery, I believe. I got them off of AliExpress. I'll leave a link down in the description. There's different versions. It was hard to pick out which one I wanted. I got the B version because this extra upgrade has a more powerful hair sculpt for this Gohan. The hair's blowing back. This is more the version of him when he was defeating Cell, and his face has a lot of paint on there, some battle damage and some blood, which is really what we think of that last moment when Gohan really was triumphant. You want some blood on there. You want him to look like he went through a battle and he overcame something like his daddy. That's still such a weird name to me. Now this is a more darker yellow for this head sculpt, and I think the heads look a little bit tinier than what comes on the figure. I'm interested to see how it fits on this 3.0 body. But you get this angry face with some blood coming out of his mouth. You get another angry face here with some blood on his forehead. You do get a clean face with him just looking stern, and you get a grinning face with some blood on his forehead. It does come with like a little extra neck peg, which we're gonna see if we're gonna need that for this upgrade. So here's the new body, and it slides in there pretty well, but it's still a little bit loose. Let's see if we need to use this peg, which is extra little neck peg, slides right on the top of that ball joint, which is awesome. And then in the bottom of the head is a little groove there for this little key slot that's right there. So you do kind of have to line that up properly. But yeah, awesome. They thought ahead. They probably made this for this new figure. It does fit on the old figure as well, which is why I got it initially. I'll show you what that looks like in a second, but the skin tone does match perfectly. Of course, there's a big difference in the shape of the heads. Like like this is a fatter head Gohan, and then I guess when he powered up, he slimmed up a little bit on his face. I'll take that one. I mean, every time they power up, they change anyway, right? They're Super Saiyans, they're Saiyans in general. There's been all types of looks for all the characters, so really not mad at this one. But let's look at the big sale for this figure, which is going to be this soft goods cape. It is a hard plastic up top for these shields. And the bendy wire runs all the way around to the bottom, to the sides. This actually feels like good quality. The material feels like a really nice pillow from like a Four Seasons hotel or something. Like, it's really nice. If you saw my Piccolo video, I got a third-party cape that was also soft goods, but the entire thing is soft goods. So this is more of a satin, cheaper pillow that you got like from Ross. Obviously not as good, especially with the plastic on there. So I do like that they incorporated plastic up top to keep that molding shape on there and to give that aesthetic, and then implemented the soft goods at the bottom. I actually think that's a really good thing, because this, if you didn't know what it was, you would think it was like a handkerchief or something. Now it is. Compared to the old plasticky hard cape, like this cape didn't have any articulation on it, so it was just a flat thing that you can only pose in one way. So the fact that this does have a wiring on it, that's really awesome. I think they should start implementing this with all of their figures. Like, I want them to redo that Piccolo and give us one of these capes. His articulation, these joints are very tight but fluid. They can move around a lot, but they do seem tight. Get them in a little bit more than a T-pose. Elbow joint doesn't look too bad. It kind of blends in there. Nice side-to-side rock. A lot of kickback. Like, look at that. That leg can come all the way up. It's a very bendy figure, but the joints are tight, which is really pretty awesome. Highly posable figure. Oh. One thing I do like are these sleeves that are on here. They did the sleeves all the way around. They're connected to the shirt. They don't like move back and forth. With some of those previous releases, these shoulder pads kind of move up and down. A lot like this old release of the Gohan figure. You see right there, his sleeves don't go all the way around. It got a little bit of a disconnect there and they fall off. Anybody need any sleeves? Did have some paint and shading on the arm and the fingers and the hands and like on the body itself a little bit. And I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that either. It's some light airbrushing, which makes it look a little bit like custom. It does add a little bit of depth to the hand and to the body itself, but still that's kind of a weird thing too, because the plastic itself is so white and light that the brown little paint that it did put on there, it just looks like he's dirty or got an uneven tan. Maybe he went down to Florida for the weekend and just laid in a weird position. Big difference between these two from what I see. It is an upgrade. This is a beefier, chunkier Gohan. This previous release was kind of a more malnourished Gohan. He's a lot thinner, skinnier, where this one's a little bit beefier, buffed up. It's like having your before and after right next to each other. As far as the animation goes and the accuracy from what I think about when I think about Gohan, this new figure actually does it a lot better. Like, the shape of his face is a lot more accurate to what I know Gohan to be, where this previous release was a very skinny, thin face. For some reason, they put freckles around his eyes, which I don't know if that picks up in the camera, but there's little dots around his eyes, which look like freckles or eyelashes. Other improvements are the purple. I know I said this one looked very matte, but in comparison to the previous release, this one looks very dull. Like, that purple is a very light purple. It's very flat. This is a more vibrant purple. There's a little bit of shading like on the knees. I actually also prefer the brown of the boots as well. Kind of now that I'm seeing them side by side, I do prefer this lighter yellow compared to this darker yellow on here. Another thing that's awesome is this upgrade in the body right here is these elbow joints. I'm assuming this is a 3.0 body. You guys let me know in the comments. Is this a 3.0 body? I feel like it is. I feel like this is the updated Gohan, which we've been waiting for, because the elbow joints on this older guy come off all the time. It's just a huge upgrade. The more I mess with this thing, the more excited I get. Let's see if the faceplates switch out on this old figure, and I'm gonna say no, because it has just a completely different design as far as like the pegs. The new head sculpt has the little pegs that come up into the head, where the pegs kind of slide in to the slot right here. So no, you can't switch out the faceplates. So if you got that old figure, he just has to be an old weird Gohan. This one surpasses daddy. So happy Father's Day. Here's a look at that new Gohan with all these upgraded head sculpts on there, the different faceplates, battle damage, not battle damage, stern, grinning. And honestly, it looks really awesome. If you're curious of what it looks like on that original body, in case you have one and you just want to get these head sculpts, it looks pretty good on this older body too. The head fits the body a little bit more, because since he is a little bit more skinny, but it doesn't look as tough. Like I said, this new body just has a little bit buffer version of Gohan, which I really dig. This cape shield thingy, I don't know if there's official Dragon Ball name. It's a cape in real life. I don't know, Dragon Ball has all types of names for stuff. But this cape, you just basically put it over the top there with the shield, then you place the head on, which is a little bit difficult because you gotta probably slide it on there in the right way. This plastic does kind of stick up and hinder what you're able to do. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too hard to put on there. You get no articulation once that cape is on. You get very limited articulation. You can look side to side and that's about it. But if you want the wind blowing for Gohan with that cape on, that's gonna look really awesome. You can pose him next to that Piccolo. All in all, listen, is it a perfect figure? No. Could he use a little bit more paint? Yeah, but that's just S.H.Figuarts. They could all use a little bit more paint in general. If you get those head sculpts, it's a nice upgrade to it. Unfortunately, it's not the battle damage version of Teen Gohan. I don't have that version. And I'm not sure if that version of the body was a 2.0 body. Somebody out there who has it, let me know down in the description. It's been so hard for me to find that father and son 2-pack at a decent price, so I haven't got that one yet. But these head sculpts I think would look perfectly on that figure. It looks good on this figure. I like the way this figure looks next to the Piccolo. If you haven't seen my Piccolo review, you're gonna want to watch this video right here. If you want to see some more S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball upgrades, watch this playlist right here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll see you guys next time.